killed by police in Lolongo were executed. This is according to civil society organizations who have conducted autopsies on the bodies. The groups now say the country is slowly marching into a police state that then undermines the gains of democracy. This comes at a time when religious leaders want President Ruto to stand down and let the people have their way by repealing the Finance Act. NTV's Brian Abuya with that story.
On a normal Wednesday, disrupted by the ongoing protests against tax hikes and cost of living, a special unit of the police drove into Mlolongo and fired randomly at the protesters deep in the village. When they left, 5 people were dead. Now civil society organizations say they were shot at close range on the head.
And the lady had a gunshot wound on the back. This shows there was a clear intention by security agents to shoot, to kill protesters.
Condemning the actions of the police, the society says groups that have engaged in recent protests have been dispersed and ruled as criminals, others killed under instructions of the government. The society has warned police officers being used for political expediency that their time will come.
On the case of the police officer who in 2016 executed 2 young men in cold blood, we have pursued that matter with patience and determination, and now we are in court. So even for these ones, we are promising to use all the means we have within the law to pursue justice and accountability for all those cases.
At the same time, and in a separate press briefing, religious leaders have called for talks between President Ruto and Azimio leader Raila Odinga.
For avoidance of doubt, we are not pushing for a power sharing between government and the opposition, for these two political structures have a distinct and cardinal role outlined in the Constitution.
The leaders say there has been arbitrary killings by the police, placing that figure at over 20 people in 3 protests. Amnesty International Kenya had earlier placed that figure at 30. Now religious leaders and civil society want President Ruto to let the will of the people prevail regarding the contentious Finance Act that has come to be known as oppressive, scandalous and economically violent.
The President and the legislature must repeal or amend the Finance Act to address the concerns raised by the public.
To facilitate an environment of dialogue, we call upon His Excellency President William Ruto to listen to the people of Kenya by repealing the Finance Act 2023 to review the heavy taxation proposed.
We have documented 27 persons shot dead by police during demonstrations. This cannot continue and must be brought to an end immediately.
But as human rights defenders complained in Nairobi about abductions, arbitrary arrests and trumped-up charges, wanton killing of citizens in cold blood by police, President Ruto believes otherwise.
And I want to commend our security agencies for being professional in how they have handled all these people. Criminals must be dealt with firmly, decisively, and made sure that everybody respects the rule of law and we don't encourage impunity of any nature.
Brian Abuya, NTV.
Now claims